My name is Adam Marincevski, and this is my final assignment for EDOP900 2019. Over the past 9 weeks, I feel like I have learned much more about myself, my practice as a teacher, teaching in different cultures and contexts, and of course, Vietnam. At the start of the course, the only knowledge I had of Vietnam was 1. That the locals ate dog, and 2. Vietnamese farmers were victorious against US militia in the Vietnam War. However, I am grateful for this eye-opening experience, as through the 2-week journey in Vietnam, I was able to enjoy the country for its rich culture, history, and food. A lot of food. As soon as we left Australian soil, I could feel the excitement in all of us as we headed for Vietnam. I would find out that my excitement was quickly overcome with fear once I saw Vietnamese traffic. To me, as an outsider, the traffic was absolute chaos, and to me this foreboded at least one major traffic collision. For the first couple of days, crossing the street to go to the convenience store was comparable to the fellowship walking to Mordor. However, as the days continued, and the traffic collisions never came, I had an epiphany which was discussed during one of our yarning circles: the adaptability of mankind. Our tour guide in Hanoi explained to us that 1 meter squared of property in Vietnam cost about 50,000 American dollars. So of course, everything in Vietnam is so condensed, congested even. However, the people of Vietnam had to adapt and be flexible to suit the needs of their living situation. And suddenly I saw the chaos on the streets as order and was no longer afraid of walking across roads or crossings. I discovered that I was making judgments about the way people of Vietnam had lived, like the same people that had made judgments towards me because of my background. This sobering thought compelled me not to create any more judgments regarding a person's culture, background, or environment, no matter how it looks. Just like the people of Vietnam have adapted to live in such a condensed area, we as teachers must learn to adapt to certain contexts to provide students with a positive learning experience. As a teacher with an EALD background, I was curious to see the similarities and differences shared between the students of Vietnam and myself. Whether they would respond positively to the same activities or teaching techniques I did when I was their age. While we were in Thanh Nguyen, I was excited to see what an average lesson looked like, as I was told Vietnamese teachers' method of teaching was very traditional. And traditional it was, with the teacher using the set textbook as the content of lessons and students never leaving their seats other than to write an answer on the chalkboard. The lesson was fine, but I did see many disengaged faces about halfway through it. This chalk and talk methodology didn't allow for any pizzazz or chutzpah, which is why I listed the activities I wanted to perform with the students with my supervisors after the class. When discussing my future students' favorite activities in the classroom with my supervisor, they replied that they love games, but that they scarcely play any because of the content of the textbook did not allow them. It was interesting and challenging to be given a set content and then creating activities which included this content, but communicated it in a way that was engaging and promoted learning to the students. These activities and teaching strategies were heavily researched in the assignments for EDOP900. I focused on gamification, performative teaching, heavy use of pantomime, activities and strategies Vietnamese students are not usually exposed to. And because these were the sorts of things that I needed when I was learning English in Australia, I was even more passionate about them going well, and that my supervisors drew inspiration from my teaching. Because of this experience, I feel like I am more prepared to teach a classroom filled with students with diverse backgrounds in the future, as I have strengthened my academic and non-academic capabilities identified in my previous 2 assignments throughout this trip. Overall, I am thoroughly pleased that I decided to go on this journey, as I have made new friendship, strengthened the bonds that I had before this trip, and feel like I've grown as a person and a teacher.